We've all been there, haven't we?
All right, I roll a 17 to hit for 19 points of damage.
That's a hit.
It's D&D combat time.
I roll a 4 to hit for 52 points of damage. Yeah.
Sorry, that's a miss.
Oh.
Rolling dice, seeing if you hit, and subtracting hit points.
The bad guy attacks you all. Oh yeah, that's a hit. You all take 14 damage.
And every so often, there's a saving throw to spice things up.
I cast Fireball.
And you might even move your minis from time to time, but really it's just a half hour to an hour of rolling dice and doing math.
This sucks.
But what if I told you there's a better way, a more interesting way, a less boring way?
Well, in that case, I would sign over my 401k in a heartbeat.
What if I told you there were 10 combat narration tips that would help you, fellow Dungeon Master, elevate your RPG combat out of the muck and mire, take combat to a whole new level of fun, and deliver supreme enjoyment to you and your players?
Jeez, who does this guy think he is?
I am Luke Hart of the DM Lair, and today I give you those 10 tips.
Holy crap. Does this guy suck or what?
Do you sometimes struggle to deliver eloquent narrative descriptions of combat and other scenes to your players? Would you rather just pay someone else to do all the work for you? Well, with Describe, you can do just that. Describe.com offers millions of narrative descriptions you can use in your games. Okay, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands? Okay, fine. 4,189 to be exact, but it might as well be millions. You simply go to Describe.com, type in what you're looking for, and a massive list of finely crafted boxed text appears. Click what you need, and then either read or paraphrase it to your players. It's as simple as that. And with Describe's nearby tags feature, you can search for specific categories of narrative description, such as combat. Again, click what you need, read it to your players. Describe has hundreds of finely crafted boxed text available for free, with millions, yes, millions more available with a paid subscription. And if you use the coupon code TheDMLair, you'll get 10% off your first payment. Number 1, keep the dialogue going during combat. Who says that there must be a dramatic monologue or dialogue before combat begins, but once it does, the bad guys keep their mouths shut? I mean, come on. You and I both know that players rarely even give you time to do that monologue or roleplay some dialogue before they scream attack. So, keep the dialogue going during combat. On an enemy's turn, have them say something to the characters, or better yet, to a specific character, and then allow that player to give a brief response. Brief! Folks, brief. Don't stop the combat for extended dialogue. Interrupt it briefly and then keep the bloodshed going. The bloodshed going. I love doing videos like this. Just keep the bloodshed going. Probably excessive. And even when it's not the bad guy's turn, you can have them say something to the characters. I like to do this after a character does something impactful or dramatic, such as delivering 2 stunning blows to the big bad's henchmen. Number 2, sum up the situation before a player's turn. Just before Jim Bob's turn, sum up the battlefield around him and what's going on. There are 3 orcs bearing down on your companions, and the orc shaman just conjured a field of murderous spirits around them. What do you do? Besides being a good narration and storytelling technique, if Jim Bob was distracted, it reminds him of the circumstances and helps him decide what he might do. And again, brief is good. Keep these descriptions short and sweet. The goal is good storytelling, not bogging down the combat. Number 3, sum up the situation for other players when it isn't their turn. You can do this battle scene narration whenever it seems appropriate or dramatic for the game. Tiffany, it's not your turn, but the orcs continue their charge of bloody murder at you, and you can't help but notice that Jim Bob didn't do a darn thing to stop them. When you sum up the circumstances for your off-turn players, it grabs those players' attention once more. It reminds them what the stakes are for their PC, and it pulls them back into the game if they were distracted. And of course, it promotes good storytelling. Number 4, violence demands viscera. Viscera? Viscera? I think it's viscera, folks. Let's go with viscera. Just let me know in the comments if I screwed up the pronunciation too badly. Come on, folks, we're playing D&D here. It's an inherently violent game. 90% of the rules have to do with murder and maiming. Some people don't like that. They're like, that's not very nice. Sorry, it's what the game is. You don't like the game? You don't have to play the game. There are lots of other games out there. So when you're describing combat, that violence demands gory details. Narrate the blood squirting out, the orc's skull cracked open, their brains spraying all over the ground. Describe what this horrific scene of violence looks like. Disclaimer, do so within the bounds of comfort of you and your players. Not everyone wants to hear this stuff. It grosses some people out, and it might be inappropriate for others. For instance, when I run D&D for kids, I obviously tone things down and take out the gore and other nasty details. By the way, if you're finding this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment for the algorithm down below. Let YouTube know that I don't suck.
Yeah, you do.
Number 5, narrate enemy actions in detail. The orc attacks Tiffany with its axe, hits, and deals 14 damage. No. Don't do that! Remember, storytelling, description. The orc charges forward, axe raised high, and brings it down in fury at Tiffany. The axe slams into her shoulder, dealing 14 damage and opening up a long gash. That's it. Just a little bit more description, add a few more details. Turn your one boring sentence into 2 interesting sentences, and the combat becomes so much more fun and exciting. Number 6, narrate dramatic failures. When Jim Bob rolls horribly low and fails to hit the orc shaman, don't just say your arrow misses. Instead say, your arrow misses the orc shaman horribly, skips off the wall, and slams into a barrel behind the creature. You can see a dark liquid beginning to leak from the barrel. Turn failures into storytelling moments. Introduce a little drama while you're at it, or just something humorous that happens. This helps turn the disappointment of a failure into something fun instead. Number 7, encourage your players to describe their killing blows. This is the classic, how would you like to do this? Though my personal variation is lethal or non-lethal, and then would you like to describe how you do it? When you invite your players to describe how they kill an enemy, it prods them to join in on the storytelling with you. Remember, the game master isn't the only storyteller at the table. Number 8, set the example for your players. As the game master, you are a leader, and everything you do sets an example for your players, whether you like it or not. So when you engage in narration and storytelling during combat, it helps your players to feel more comfortable doing it themselves. And on a subconscious level, you setting the example also encourages them to do it more themselves, even if you never ask them to. Number 9, combat is role-playing. I cannot tell you how sick I am of people erroneously referring to social interactions, the talky bits of the game, as role-playing, and then referring to combat as though it were a separate entity. Players should be role-playing their characters just as much during combat as they are outside combat. And the same is true of the dungeon master and their bad guys. So when the game shifts into combat, don't set aside your role-playing mentality and shift into wargaming mode. You're still role-playing your characters or monsters. And role-playing them doesn't mean just having them talk during combat. Role-playing is not the talky bits. It means thinking about what your character would do and then having them do that thing in combat. You're role-playing them. They don't have to say a darn word. It's still role-playing. Number 10, take it easy. Some of you are like, yeah, Luke, take it easy, calm down. Too much narration and description will bog the combat down. It might take some time to get a feel for how much is just right, but know that there is a balance to be struck. Click on the screen now to hear more tips on how to make your D&D combat less boring, or to become a DM Lair patron and get an issue of Lair magazine every month. And until next time, let's play D&D.